Hey there. Welcome to Mental Health Monday. I am so glad you're here. We have so much to talk about. As you remember, last week we talked more about resistance, and today we're going to talk about how to manage your emotions. Now, Mental Health Monday is the place to talk about all things mental health, everything that affects your mental health as a leader. That's what we'll talk about here. So you can always send in your questions, and you can do that by putting a comment right below this video, wherever you are watching. And we are going to collect those questions and make sure we're answering them here. Now, we have some great things in store for you. Last time we talked about resistance. If you didn't watch that video, go ahead and go back and watch it. We talked about when we say resistance, that's you in the pre-contemplation phase, right? Before you're actually ready, but you need to listen to your brain. And I tell you why in that video. And I also tell you why I wouldn't work with you when you have resistance up. And I don't see resistance as a bad thing, but it does say whether you're ready or not. And in the video, I break down and explain the way to know if you're ready or not. So go watch that if you didn't watch it. Today, we are going to talk about managing your emotions. And next week, we're going to talk a little bit about not just about managing your emotions, but some of the foundation, I would say the top 3 things or emotions that I see the most in my mental health practice working with leaders. And so if I can give you some tools on those 3, a lot of those 3 still create other emotions. So we're going to talk about that because that is so juicy. So you better be here next week. Today, talking about managing your emotions, I'm going to talk about when I say managing your emotions, I mean all of them, the negative ones and the positive ones, the ranging from, the all the anger that you feel, the greed, the guilt, the shame, the sadness, and maybe even depression, the anxiety, all of those feelings, right? Even the happiness, the excitement, the um the fun, the love, all of that. There has to be some management to it. And our job at Presidential Lifestyle is to give you the foundation to do that. So if you don't know me, let me tell you a little bit more about myself. But I am Kene Quarter, and I am the CEO of Presidential Lifestyle. And Presidential Lifestyle is a mental health company focused on wealth in all of its forms. And we are dedicated to alleviate human suffering associated with money by spreading prosperity. Now, many of you know that money is the number one cause of stress, and stress is the cause of many major illnesses. So, if we can overcome our stress around money, then we can overcome much of our stress in other areas. So I'm going to show you how to manage your emotions as a leader, because what is expected of you is a lot. And because you lead others, what you learn, you can pass down to the people who work with you. All right. So if you ever want to know more about what we do or you want to work with us, then you can go to presidentiallifestyle.com. In the meantime, while you're here, I'd like to share something with you. So, your emotions are getting in the way of you getting what you want out of life. And whether you know it or not, those emotions are also blocking you from getting love and acceptance and connection. And I want to talk to you about how to manage those emotions, because it is my job and it's our job at Presidential Lifestyle to guide you through the process of managing your emotions, because nobody has ever taught you that. Now, maybe your parents said, stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about, right? That helped. Did that help? Did that help? And kind of, it actually created a suppression. So we were taught at a very early age to suppress our emotions. And because of that, we learned to do that and we got really good at it. Now, for some people, it wasn't about not crying. For some people, it was about maybe not being too happy, right? Maybe you grew up in a place where Stoic was respected. And if you got too happy, that was silly. And you needed to calm that down. And you learn to suppress your happiness. Well, you're going to learn today to tap into yourself and find out who you are, what's real to you, and how to not suppress your emotions. The challenge is that because we've learned to suppress our emotions, we hold them in and we hold them in, we hold them in, and then eventually they come bursting out at some point. Because when you hold in your emotions, they're getting transmuted, turned into fuel. So eventually, something so small will trigger you, bam, and it's an explosion. And it could just be who left the top off of the juice or whatever. And that sends you into a spiral because you've been suppressing your emotions and not letting it out. And I have this saying that lack of self expression leads to depression. And maybe you won't get all the way to depression, but you can get really sad and drained. Now, here's what we do a lot. We feel this feeling over here, whatever it is, let's call it a negative emotion, and let's say it's anger. You get over here and you feel anger, and then you suppress it because you're like, well, I'm not supposed to be angry. That's not a good feeling. So let me push myself. And then when you push yourself, you swing all the way to the other side. And when it finally comes out, that anger, explosion, because suppress, suppress, suppress. You've taught yourself to swing to the other side. That other side is explosion. And so as you're pushing, pushing, pushing against that anger, when you push it to the other side, that other side is not going to be able to hold anymore. And then it comes out. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever experienced this? Because I don't think I am the only one who's experienced this. I also know that I've worked with so many people in my practice who have. So maybe this sounds familiar to you. Well, I want to give you a little bit of, I'll say, a tool, a guide that will help you manage through this. But let me ask you if you said any of these things. I don't want to be judged, so you didn't feel your feelings. I'll be misunderstood. They'll think I'm weak. I just don't want to complain. Nobody can help me anyway. Have you said any of those things? Yeah, because we're taught that. And we're taught that by society, by our parents, even by our schools. You're not able to feel your emotions. You're taught that your emotions are not good. Now, what I do want you to understand is that even though right now I'm telling you to feel your emotions, I don't want you to get stuck there, because all I want you to do is to notice them, acknowledge them. And here's the tool that you're going to use. You're just going to pay attention to the feeling that you feel inside. And you may not even be able to name it yet, but you're just going to feel that feeling. Get familiar with it. I feel this feeling. Now, the second thing you're going to do I like this feeling? Mm-mm, I don't like it. Okay, then what would it take for this feeling to be different? Oh, I need to go for a run. I need to play with my children. I need to take a bath. I need to just breathe and meditate. Maybe I need to go do something creative and color. You see, you're just noticing, even if you're not able to name it, but I do want you to try to name it. I feel this feeling. What is this feeling? Oh, this is anger. This is shame. This is fear. So if you can name it, because if you can name it, then you can tame it. And that is what our work is all about. Taming the brain so you can move through change. Taming the brain so you can move through performance, get to your best and your highest version of yourself. Taming your brain so you can get to prosperity. So if you can name it, you can tame it, but I want you to feel it first. Just notice it. And as soon as you notice it and you name it, then see if you can tame it. And here's how you tame it. What would it take for me to feel different? So you may say, for me, it is, I just need to meditate. Number one, that's my first line of defense is meditation. I always go there. Second, I can watch a video of someone that I respect, and or listen to an audio of someone I respect, someone wise and smart, and or I go to comedy so I can laugh. The other thing that I like to do is to be around someone who brings out the, like, awesomeness, who, like, just loves me. So, if I can get around someone who's, like, not gonna be judgmental and critical, because 'cause I'm already being critical of myself, then that's the person I wanna be around. It might be a workout for you. It could be, but not work. Yeah. Yes, if you go to work, then if you're doing your work feeling that icky feeling, then what's going to happen is you're going to start associating work with that icky feeling. Icky, yeah, that's a technical term. I like using it because it just kind of describes what we're going through. We have a lot going on, and sometimes you can't really name it. So I just call it that icky feeling, and that clumps all the emotions together. I feel icky. I don't want to feel icky. How would I like to feel? Now, here's the last part of this. How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? I'm asking you again. How do you want to feel? So I don't really like high highs or low lows. That's just my personal preference. You find where you want to feel. And I'm going to show you something next time. And instead of looking at your emotions as up and down, I want you to look at them on a continuum, side to side. So I I prefer to be in what I call my authentic self. And when I am in my authentic self, it's a very calm, peaceful, just zenny version of me. Not too low, not too high. I'm just right there in this peaceful, warm, yummy place. So that's what I want you to think about. What is that for you? What is that warm, yummy place, right? So we can go from feeling icky to go to feel yummy. Now, I know you're like, "G'day, those are not technical terms." I'm all about the non-technical terms because I can get jargony for you and it's not going to serve any purpose. You're not going to heal any faster if I give you a bunch of jargon. So, most professionals like myself are going to give you a lot of jargon. You don't need that to feel good. In fact, sometimes those things make you feel worse. Am I right? So, here on Mental Health Monday, we're just going to keep it really light and fun and easy because that's how you heal. So if you didn't get that, I want you to watch this video again and again and again because it's all in there. Just name it, notice it and name it. And then determine, do I even like this feeling? No, I do not. And so what would I like to feel? So go from icky to yummy. Just name your yummy feeling. For me, it's zenny. I just want to feel zenny. I made that up, but you know the word zen. So you can make up your word too. And then you go there. How do you go there? I want you to think about it on this continuum. I'm going to break this down for you more next time. But just think about it like if you had a dial. I like to think about it like a knob. I'm turning a knob. You might be able to think about it like maybe you're just pulling that feeling, or it could be pulling it out of yourself, or you can be pulling it towards you, wherever you like, but it's already inside of you. You just got to get to it by moving the old feeling out of that way, that yucky feeling out of the way. You can also think of it, how you turn the volume up and you just push that bit, or like on the remote. You can think of it like on a remote too. I just want you to have a visualization of how you can do that. So just visualize, maybe it's a knob for you. Close your eyes and visualize that knob. Close your eyes, visualize that remote. You're just going to visualize it because you are in complete control of your emotions. You may not be in control of them coming, but you are in control of them staying. So you're going to notice the emotion. Allow yourself to notice there. Do not suppress it like you've been taught since you were a kid. Just notice it, name it, change it, or tame it by turning that knob to the feeling you want to feel. You can name that feeling. Visualize yourself pushing that button, change, 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 and just feel that feeling inside of you shift. Just allow it. One of the things I like to say to shift the feeling, if it's not working and I really need a boost, then I just say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Say it with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome. So if you say that a bunch of times, you will see that you can't say thank you and not feel gratitude. And you don't have to say what you're grateful for. Sometimes that just monkeys it up. Don't worry about that. Just say thank you. And I say you're welcome because I know it will work. So try it. Put it in the comments. Tell me how it works for you. I would love to hear from you. You can always visit our website at presidentiallifestyle.com. And if you want, you can you can go and fill out a form right on our website if you want to see if you are a great candidate for our Digital Pro membership, where you can get not just these mental health tools, but our Tame Your Brain therapy delivered to you every single week. In fact, several times a week. So go and check it out, presidentiallifestyle.com. In the meantime, I will see you back here next Monday for Mental Health Mondays. How does that sound? Does that sound good or good? I know, right? Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here.